Well, as you said, the kids have been pampered. The box has been ticked off to make sure that the kids walk away here not only with smiles on their faces, but their hands can't even carry the gifts that have been given to them for Christmas Day. And this is also in a bid to make sure that the kids are taken care of during this Christmas Day, and also for them to forget about the trauma of seeing their homes going up in flames and losing all their belongings to the devastating fire which left about 5,000 people homeless last week. But to talk to us about the fire, I'm joined here by a fire victim who lost everything in that fire, and this was not the first time that has been affected by the fire. Mzingabantu, talk to us, Budwam. What have you lost in the fire and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very angry, Sissy. I've lost everything in the fire. I lost my bedding. I've lost everything. I only managed to take out the clothes that I'm going to wear and a small bag which contained my particulars. I also lost my medication. The people came and said, whoever lost the medication must come forward. I registered for my medication. I haven't received my medication. I'm type 1, type 2 bipolar and manic psychotic. I don't know when I'm going to relapse because I have defaulted for a week now. Thank you, Nana.
Budwam, you talk about medication that you have not received, but let's also talk about shelter. Where are you sleeping currently? Have you been provided by the government with shelter in the interim while you're waiting for your temporary relocation homes?
No, Mama, we have not been provided with any form of shelter. The last time we were provided shelter here in the community hall, but due to this COVID-19, the community hall has been turned into a clinic now. So there is no alternative place for us except for the churches that have offered voluntarily their spaces. And we're just shaking up wherever we can shake. If you've got a friend who can spare a night, then you spare a night there. But I'm currently residing with my sister now, whom she's keeping a house for someone who's in Eastern Cape. When that someone comes back from Eastern Cape, then I don't know what we're going to do.
Minister has announced last week that she will be providing houses to 5,000 people that lost their homes last week. Are you looking at this announcement by the minister as an early Christmas gift?
No, I think for me, Mama, it's a spit in the face. I'm sorry to put it so bluntly, because the minister announced, I would have loved to hear the minister announce it to my face like I'm speaking to you now. I didn't see any minister here coming to us. I didn't see any government officials coming here. The only people I've seen has been donations from different NGOs. I haven't seen anyone. Only the municipal people who have come to register us, to put us on the database, which is something that we expected, which we know because they've recently verified us. I haven't seen any big departments, but we have been writing our names on I don't know how many pieces of paper or these books. I was even fighting on the queue when they were taking down our names. I ended up fighting there because I was saying there is no stamp on this book. There is no uniform on the person who's taking my details, and they're saying they're registering me to get money for relief fund and all the other stuff. But I don't see any name tag who I can go back and claim and say, you said. So it's basically just hearsay, hearsay, hearsay. So the minister must come say it to us. He can call us wherever he can call us. We will go there, we will sit, we will listen. Not to just hear the minister announce this. The minister must take time to come down here to us and see the living conditions that we are living under here. And then we can say, okay, thank you, minister. If you don't even have the time to come and just have the decency to say it to us in person, then you might as well be lying to us. We know the procedures. It can be all fine now, but when it comes to the protocols and all the bureaucratic other stuff, that April, March can become June, December. So it's nothing new. That's why I say it's the fourth time now. I've been in this situation before. It's nothing new. If I was in this situation in 2015 and I'm on the database there, how come is it that when my name appears on the list of people who have lost everything, Why must I go and re-register again? So it's those things. It just hurts us, Mama. It just hurts us. There are some people who just say, they don't even come to collect the food. They don't even come to collect. They said, what am I going to do with food? Because I'm going to eat now, I'm going to be full, and then what? I can't even eat. People are depressed. People are angry. People are fighting over small things. Over small things. Not because it's how they are. Because of the situation. They are stressed. When the child says, Mama, I want that brand new pair of Nike or whatever you bought me. And the mom said, but you know we lost it. The children don't understand that. The children don't understand any of this that is happening. They're just busy asking us, what is this? What is that? What started the fire? What is what? The children don't understand that. And what pisses, I'm sorry to say this so bluntly on national TV, but what pisses me off the most is that they don't take individuals amongst the people who were affected by the fire, the victims like us, and say, come and volunteer. We are willing to come and volunteer, hence we are here. That's why I took this thing. I bought myself this whistle, just so I can be active. Because now they're taking people who were not affected by the fire, who are coming running to say, okay, we're coming here to help you guys. But when it comes out to handing out these things, then you're standing in line, then the person who's handing out the stuff doesn't know you, doesn't recognize you, because it doesn't reside there. Now he ends up saying, no, you are being greedy. Why are you coming to take food of the people who are victims? Then you say, no, but I'm also a victim. Then they must confirm with someone else. But it would have been much easier if they had said, okay, round up everyone who's affected by the fire. And then we say, okay, here's how we're going to deal with this. Here's a certain committee for this. Here's a certain committee for this. Here's a certain committee for this. Then we know, you guys are handling all the children's stuff. You guys are handling this stuff. You guys are handling the elderly. But now the main focus is only the housing. We want the housing.
Mzi, you talk about the housing, but you also have concerns, which you mentioned, but you also talked about the fact that you are below the age of 40 and that there's people who are coming from outside of South Africa that have also been affected by the fire and the issue of shack farming. Just expand to us, as somebody who's been affected by the fire and a resident here, what are your concerns regarding the houses that the minister says you will be receiving next year?
I don't know how the housing is going to be rolled out, but the shack situation is a monopoly, Mama. You get one shack, you erect a double story on top of it, you put 8 people on top, you put 6 people on top, you keep 2 rooms for you. Now, where are you going to get that money that you were rolling in from those individuals? And now that this fire has come down, are those 8 individuals who were renting from you the government's responsibility or your responsibility? Because they are your tenants. You see, it's a monopoly which is not broken down by any rules and regulations.
Earlier on, we know that the city of Cape Town is saying that they've handed over about 500 houses to people of Masiphumelele just about 2 months ago. But earlier on, you said you are concerned that it has to take a devastating fire like this for government to actually fast-track the housing development in the community. What are your thoughts?
I think that the government is just playing hide and seek with us. Because if they've rolled, there are beautiful flats, there they are, and they are on that other side as well. We've seen them, the people have benefited greatly, but it's only the minority that has benefited. And these ones that they're saying they are going to roll out now, I don't know what structures they are going to be. Are they going to be built from ground up, or are they going to come maybe erected, one of those temporary housings like they have in other communities? But what I would have loved is for everyone to benefit who's staying in the wetlands, because just because we lost our stuff in the fire doesn't mean that those people are not in line. It's only a matter of time until they are in the same boat. So I would have loved for the government to come and explain to us properly, how does this thing work? Is it a pilot project? Where's the funding? So that we can get a clear answer. Because where I'm currently residing, I can be chased out anytime. And when the criteria comes out that we must get the housing, I don't know if my age is going to disqualify me. So I'm skeptical about this whole thing. For me, it would have been better if they have done like they've done before. Just give us the materials, the roof sheets, all those stuff. We just rebuild shacks again. We'll wait for another 5 because it's been happening like that for years. And we've gotten so used to it that we don't want the relief from the government. We want to build more. But we don't want houses. Not that we don't want, but we know that we don't want that process of having to stay homeless for 3 months because I don't know where I'm going to stay until April. I can't wake up and go to work and come back and stay away. I've got 2 children. One is here, one is in Ocean View. My child can't come to me and say, Daddy, I want to come visit you. No. Where is she going to visit me? Even now, today, there's plenty of groceries that we received here. Not one piece of chicken. Not one piece of chicken. Food like a lot. Not one piece of chicken. I would have loved to feel like, even though that I've lost everything, but if I had been treated like with human dignity, be given a place to just keep me until we get done with whatever process that they're taking on. And then I would have loved to eat maybe 7 colors today like everyone else. Sleep whenever I want to sleep. A 4-man tent is enough for me. I'm a man. Give me a 4-man tent. I'll crash with some of my guys. We're all in the same boat while we wait. Because it seems like now some of us are having the luxury, I can just go stay there with my cousin. I can just go stay there. Which is also going to come down to another thing because it happened like that before, that the criteria came down on us hard, that those who had no alternative must benefit first, but those who held the alternative must wait. So must we now disown our relatives just because we want other people to benefit? Because if they don't have a play, if they have an alternative, they're not going to get something? No, it's unfair.
Mzi, I'm going to have to cut you off there, but that is Mzi Wabantu just talking to us about his experience having been a fire victim about 4 times. Touching on very important things that are burning in his mind, or rather questions that he'd like the government officials to address, from shack farming to who will actually be first in line of those houses that the Minister of Human Settlements said will be rolled out and people the fire victims will be moving into. So very important issues that Mzi is highlighting. However, we obviously don't have the answers to those questions, and hopefully the government officials and also the minister will be able to shed some light on some of the concerns from the community members.